Right. Topic number 2 is about Jared Leto. As you know, Jared Leto is going to be starring in Morbius soon. We're looking forward to that, aren't
Exciting times.
Exciting times.
Exciting times.
And he's gone on record and actually said that, although he says it's heartbreaking, that movie theaters might not exist without Marvel, which counteracts a lot of these idiot directors who are always bashing Marvel, innit? But I don't like the part that it said it's heartbreaking. Although I can't. Anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So this comes to us via IndieWire. And it says Jared Leto has ventured into the superhero worlds across DC and Marvel cinematic universes after finding fame in independent cinema. But the Oscar winner is fully aware of the modern ecosystem that fuels exhibition. If it wasn't for Marvel films, I don't even know if theaters would exist, the Morbius star told Variety, admitting he's a bit of a snob when it comes to film. It doesn't seem like there's room for everyone, and that starts to become a little heartbreaking. After Spider-Man No Way Home resurrected the theater-going experience in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and broke box office records along the way, Leto's take on Spider-Man adversary Dr. Michael Morbius is set to be released in theaters April 1st after many pandemic delays. Yeah. If it doesn't work out, we have a good excuse, Leto said of the film's long road to release, which was initially set for July 2020.
That's nuts.
Almost 2 years ago. We waited too long, he said. Morbius, the latest addition in Sony Pictures' universe of Marvel superheroes tentpole franchise, marks Leto's first foray into the MCU. Leto admitted he understands why he was Sony's natural choice to take on the role of the blood-sucking Morbius, whom Leto describes as a bit of a dark horse, an outsider. This isn't Leto's first time playing a complicated comic book outsider. Leto previously stepped into the role of DC's The Joker for 2016 Suicide Squad, which he was bashed for, but I thought it wasn't a bad performance.
I thought he did all right as well.
And the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, a role elsewhere played in non-DC extended universe Batman outings by Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jack Nicholson. While Leto was swapping DC for Marvel, he told Variety to never say never about possibly reprising his Joker role in the future. Yeah,
that would do.
We'll leave it there. Yeah.
But just quickly, who's your favourite Joker?
It's a toss-up between Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
Because some days I'll think Heath Ledger, but I did like what Joaquin Phoenix did. They took a big risk with what he did. And it did work. It did work.
Yeah.
It did work. But anyway. What are you thinking on what Jared Leto said?
Well,
I mean, he kind of confirmed what we've been saying all along.
We haven't been on this platform very long. But I think we started off by saying that.
Yes.
We started off by saying that. And the proof is in the pudding. And the pudding shows that there is bags of Marvel in the pudding. What's the biggest non-superhero film that's been released in the last year?
Biggest non-superhero
Non-superhero that people have gone...
I wouldn't even know, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Which tells me everything. There probably is one. Someone's going to say,
obviously,
you forgot about so-and-so.
But you were specific with that question. You said the biggest. So I would have to go through facts and figures to actually...
All right, one you remember.
Free Guy. Yeah. Although that could possibly be argued that he's not a superhero.
He's not a superhero.
He's not.
No.
He's not.
No. Okay,
so Free Guy.
But
again, why am I remembering Free Guy? because the lead guy
is Ryan Reynolds,
who played
Deadpool,
right,
and has been in Blade, and he's actually a superhero.
He's been in 2 superhero franchises.
And then you got Uncharted,
right,
which isn't a superhero film.
That's a good
but
shout.
It's Tom Holland,
who was in the biggest superhero film in the last few years.
Yeah.
Since Endgame.
So it just shows you. It just shows
it's always
you.
a connection.
Yeah.
It's always
where
a connection.
there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
you know,
man.
where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm just thinking, they're probably right. He's right, because we're right.
Yeah. I mean, look, the reason why I said I didn't like his whole, it's heartbreaking, but then I thought about it was, he's right in the sense that, because look, obviously we're big comic book movie fans, right? We're massive comic book movie fans, especially me. He knows that,
especially
right?
Then Damien, then me. But we're all massive.
We all
don't
massive.
Be fooled.
That is by the by. But that doesn't mean that's the only type of films we like to watch.
No.
Do you know what I mean? We also like to watch the auteurs. We also like to watch, comedies or
the odd rom-com, action and adventure.
Listen, as long as a film,
anime,
right?
It
as long as a film is good,
right?
I'm game.
In.
Yeah,
I'm in.
That's it.
Just be good.
That's it. I don't care, because all these people that bash a certain genre, like these directors are bashing Marvel films, that's not on. Because really and truly, as Samuel Jackson even said, it's because you've got sour grapes. People ain't come to watch your movies no more. And that's why you're bashing.
And you know what that means? They have to step up their game. It's not just because Marvel you're gonna have to. It's next levels now.
Listen,
you can't do the same thing you've always done.
Right.
I'm afraid.
Right.
That's done.
Right.
It's dead.
Because here's the thing.
You don't see Steven Spielberg just churning out foolishness. He's done epic stuff. He can't do the same thing.
Right. Even, listen, his first foray into a musical, the remake of West Side Story, that was a smash. I haven't even watched it yet.
No.
But everyone else I know that's watched it said it's wicked.
It's brilliant.
Do you know what I mean?
And I'm ready to watch it.
I am ready to watch it. I'm not a fan of musicals as well, but obviously
I'm a fan of musicals.
Obviously,
I can't lie.
Musical theatre, so... but I did like the original West Side Story, ain't gonna lie. It's a classic.
Yeah.
And I really want to see this one, which is, a modern take on it. And it's Spielberg's... Man, that's how great this man is. It's his first foray into a musical, and some people saying it's the best musical ever.
Right.
So he's a man, like you said, who steps up his game.
Yes. Doesn't come and just do the same thing.
He's not living in past glories like maybe a Scorsese. Or Ridley Scott. You know what I mean? You're living in your past glory.
Yeah.
Listen, you're as good as your last film, matey.
Yeah.
Simple.
And that's with actors. You're as great as your last film.
Right. That's it. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. And here's the thing that gets me, because you said it earlier, actually, why you need to step up your game. These directors need to step up your game. Because Marvel films, generally speaking, obviously not in this iteration, but Marvel films based on Marvel characters and comic book films in general have always been made.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're just not as good as they are now because they stepped up their game.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Even the best comic book movies that we know from the past, like the Supermans, the first Batman film.
Yeah.
They've stepped up their game.
Yep.
I mean, look at the Batman film that we've just gone to.
Right. So you think the original Superman and the original Batman, great epic films. Then it just went like that a little bit. It leveled out. And then they've stepped up the game.
Right.
Same with Spider-Man, everything.
Right.
Up the game. Right. Guardians of the Galaxy, up the game. Like everything's building up.
Everything is... That's what I'm saying.
But Scorsese and Ridley Scott are churning out the same
stuff.
Bunkum.
The same stuff. and then they expect studios to give them stupid money. Like when Scorsese went up to I forgot what studio it was, and he asked for 200 mil for the Irishman. For the Irishman. I'm like, what are you using that? That's exactly what they must have said. What are you using 200 mil for? Furthermore,
are you shooting this in space? That's what I'd have been saying.
And furthermore, even if we give you 200 mil, let's say we're prepared to give that to you. How are we going to get a return on our money? Because your films don't make that kind of money. It's simple business. Do you know what I mean? It's simple business.
It's like if you're getting a partner You look at his resume. What have you done? Well, I've never made over 30 grand a year. Well, this is like a 200,000 grand a year company.
Yeah.
Why am I going to bring you in? Why?
Bro.
It don't make no sense.
And it's funny because I remember when they trusted Ryan Coogler with Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know how much the budget was for that?
Yeah,
over
low.
200 million.
Oh, is it?
First time they trusted a black director with that kind of budget.
And a full, well, not full, but a black cast.
Pretty much all black cast. Look what that did.
Yeah.
Now that until Spider-Man came out, that had the record for the biggest film by a singular character. And in my mind, it still holds the record because really Spider-Man was cheating. You know what I mean? There was too many characters in that. You know what I mean? But anyway, so this
and they had 3 Spider-Mans.
And
they
all
didn't
these
have
villains.
3
and all these villains.
All these villains and 3 Spider-Man.
So there's a little bit cheating, but okay. But the point is that they made a return on their money and then some. You know what I mean?
They sure
and
did.
Right. And even the up until recently, because maybe Eternals didn't make that much money, but I'm not sure. But up until recently, you could be guaranteed that if you had a Marvel movie, even if you had a $200 million, like even if Ant-Man had a $200 million budget, that would have made money.
Yeah.
Because it still made $600 million at the box office.
Yep.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it still made money.
Yep.
So, you know, and then let's move forward. The last 2 years, obviously, we've been under a pandemic. Theaters have been wiped out. Some theaters are not even ever going to open.
Yeah, never going to open.
Do you know what I mean?
Doors, yeah.
In fact, there's some famous theaters that I've gone to, the iconic theaters in LA. They've had to shut shop, and then they've been bought by another company. Because, do you know what I mean? And these are iconic theaters, right? Cinemas, you know. And as the article quite rightly says, these have been bankrolled by the success of Spider-Man No Way Home, and now also the Batman comic book movies.
Yeah. So
you've got to ask yourself, the people who like to bash these movies, you've got to ask yourself, where would the industry be, especially cinemas, without comic book movies?
Because you're not pulling your weight.
If you're relying on all these other films to do the job,
you're not pulling your weight.
It's not going to happen. There'll have been many more cinemas shut.
Yeah.
Which would then affect the other film's bottom line because you don't have enough cinemas to exhibit your film.
Yeah, to fund them. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a vicious circle. Do you know what I mean? And to be honest, the industry has been saved by comic book movies, specifically Spider-Man No Way Home. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm pretty sure there'll be a resurgence in other films.
Yeah.
Nothing. What goes up has to come down. Has to.
And you're right. And comic book films may not sustain this kind of popularity. They may, but they may not.
Yeah.
But
either way,
do you know what I mean? It doesn't change the fact
they have to pull their weight.
They have to pull their weight.
It's simple up as. Your game. Your films have got to be better. They got to be deeper. They got to be stronger. Simple as that.
Because what people need to understand also is that putting all the other comic book movies aside, speaking specifically to Marvel, which is the one they always bash anyway, because that's the most successful. People need to understand that we've never seen what Kevin Feige has put together ever. We've never seen this. Goes back to your point about it's unprecedented.
Yeah,
it goes back to what you said. They leveled up. They upped their game. We've never ever seen a cinematic universe like what Kevin Feige has done. So much so that DC tried to copy it, and obviously they fell on their arse, and now they're going a different route. But they tried.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And to be honest, every other studio now is trying to do a universe. All because of what Kevin Feige has created. So it again, it shows that, as Leon said, they leveled up.
Yeah.
They did something completely different.
Yeah.
They had long-term vision.
Yeah.
And it's come to fruition. Do you know what I mean?
There's nothing else to say. Wait, who directed Like, he done Goodfellas.
He's done loads of good movies.
I know, good
but I couldn't tell you his biggest movie box office wise.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I can tell you it probably wouldn't be over 400 mil. I doubt it's even if it is 400 mil.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I mean, look at The Departed when we read the other day. That didn't even make 400 mil.
And that's a brilliant
Look how many stars it had in that film. The years you pointed at. Like, that was a star-studded cast. That film was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
No, I would say he leveled up his game.
Yeah, one of the best films.
And yet
ever.
it didn't even make 400 million.
Mm-hmm. Do the maths.
Do you know what I mean? So even if you do up your game, you still might not, because listen, the IP when it comes to these Marvel movies and most comic book movies in general is such that it's entrenched in society, because it's you know, these are comic books that
go back for what, the 1930s? They go back to the 30s, isn't it?
Superman does anyway.
Superman does.
But do you know what I mean? But I mean, let's even say 60s when most of them came out.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
We
don't realise that's a long time ago.
The thing is, they got so much to draw from as well.
Right.
There's so many stories. Like someone said, I want you to write me a Batman story. I got 1,000,001 comics to look at.
Which one?
I piece it together. I make my film.
Which one?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean, which story do you want?
Right.
It's as simple as that.
That's it.
You know. But listen, we said our piece.
What do you think?
What do you think? We understand where Jared Leto's coming from. What do you think? Leave us some comments down below and let us know what you think.